All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Ehtisham from Team Badriyah and the Stolen Pearl, and today we're going to do some level designing and greyboxing for our very first level of our game. Yesterday, you all met Debbie showing you our 3D modeling journey, and the very first level, that is Badriyah's house, we are going to use that, and we're going to do some greyboxing in there. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to do some paper-based prototyping of our first level, and we are going to use Fire Alpaca, the software for this task, and then we're going to jump right into Unity, and we're going to do some greyboxing. So without further ado, I guess we should go to our software. So Fire Alpaca. What we're going to do now is we're going to get our canvas ready, on which we are going to do some drawing. So let me, 1920 into 1080. Cool. Yeah, here we go. So here we can actually draw some things, and we can basically, see our level designing. So basically, it's a house, right? So first of all, what are our goals? So let's write our goals here first. So basically, our goals here would be we want to show tutorials of our player controller, right? So basically, the climbing system in this level, because no enemies are going to appear here. So climbing system, right? So tutorials for climbing system. This is too big. Let's make it smaller. It's fine. So this is our first goal, and after that, our second goal would be, actually let's do it like that. And then our second goal would be to make sure that we stay in with our story, right? So we're gonna go in accordance to our story. So level design should be according to the game story. So this level also sets up the game, right? Because this is the very first thing that players are going to see. Now, these two goals, what we're going to do is basically let's actually think about this approach. So it's a 3D game, as you guys all know. So in a 3D game, it's very difficult to mainly think about the level designing, but we can do a top-down approach, kind of a bird's eye. So imagine everything you can see on the canvas from this goes downwards. It's basically from a bird's eye view, a top-down. So so Badriyah's house is kind of like an Emirati house, and so what happens there is basically the center area is kind of it's open, and on the sides there are rooms. So we're gonna start the game from the center. Let's think of this area as basically the open area in the house, and the corridors are on these two sides. So let's make a gray rectangle for the corridors, and for here as well. Okay, that's good enough. So these two rectangles represent corridors from the top-down view, and then there are rooms here. We are just concerned with Badriyah's room. Let's mark it with some other color, maybe cyan. Badriyah's room would be not Badriyah's room, basically Halan's room. It's going to be kind of like here, right? So let's maybe label them. All right. Let's make it kind of smaller. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So this is downstage's room. These two are corridors, and this is the place where Badriyah can roam freely. Now on these two other sides, we have, let's mark them with maybe silver or light gray rectangle. Uh, so this place is kind of like a roof. The player, or maybe like the people living in the house, are not supposed to go here, maybe, but it's kind of like an open area. Just as we go into Unity, I will show you this place, and you might have seen this like in Debbie's 3D modeling. So we have one wind catcher here. No need to show it because we're not concerned with it. And the other wind catcher is there, and there's a little wall, so maybe like. Basically, okay, this is gonna be so small. So I guess, yeah, they kind of found there. So basically, a wind catcher is here, and then this is the place where we can go on, right? So this is how Badriyah's house would look like from top-down view. And now, now let's create Badriyah with our brush. We have our brush, maybe dark blue color. So, oops. Yeah. So a little stick man, I guess. Let's do bit of a size. Maybe control it. 10 is going to be fine, I guess. I think there's a mouse here, so it's not too accurate. The head is kind of weird, but it's fine. Yeah. So what we are standing in the middle of the house, like the open area, the rooms are there, the corridors are there, and then this place is something like walkable, not covered, not like corridors, just like a wall, but like a thick wall. It has. Let's just say player can move on this part, right? And we have this area, this is a wall, and we have a wind catcher here. This also is a very thick wall if you see from above. So this is basically what we have come up with Badriyah's house, right? Now, let's talk about what happens here plot-wise. So the game starts with Badriyah and her friend standing there, and through like timeline and cinemachine virtual cameras, and maybe we'll create some video for like a little animated cutscene. What happens is that she's interacting with her friend, and her friend is keen on like going to the town stage's room to get something. And but we are reluctant because Townstage is kind of like not so welcoming in her room, especially not like bringing any strangers or something. So but we finally agrees. This all happens inside in a in a cutscene or with Cinemachine and Townline things. So but we finally agrees. All right, let's do it. But we are not gonna use stairs or something from the house because the Townstage or her the woman who brought her up. I'm sorry, I didn't say it before. The town sage is the woman who brought Badriyah up, right? So she is inside the house. So we're not. They're not going to use stairs or something. So so they're going to find their way to the room, right? This is the starting point, right? So once Badriyah starts to observe the house, like what they can do or something like that, she realizes her friend is already managed to go up on the corridor, and she's now asking Badriyah to go up there, right? So she goes inside the room. Now Badriyah has to find out. That's where our gameplay actually starts. So at this point, we give maybe create like here like a little key to represent things. So to represent box colliders or triggers. Triggers are something like on which, like, if player goes run into them, something on the canvas will appear, like the gameplay canvas. Like, for example, when we'll put a trigger here, like like some collider, like a box collider in Unity. So it's invisible, of course, but but Badriyah is standing in this area, and while she's standing in the area, on screen instructions would show up, whatever we want to say. So we'll say, for instance, here, like WASD to move, space to jump, and your mouse to control the camera, right? So that's so let's call these things triggers, and we will represent them with maybe a blue square or something. Not blue, let's go with red now. So this is kind of like a key. So triggers are represented by this. This is a player. I'm not gonna be able to like replicate this. So yeah, I don't know how to copy it here. I think I can't copy it. All right. Then we have path. So climbing path or something like that. So that's fine. So maybe green for the path, and we're just gonna use brush for it for this. So just like yeah, undotted line, right? So what now we're gonna do is, so basically we have a red box here. So in this area, maybe yeah, it's fine. So this box is what's gonna do is it's gonna basically in this area it's gonna tell users on screen, like players on screen, that you can use WASD to move, right? Then we can have a trigger here. So basically we want to show, one of our goal is to show the tutorial, right? So what mechanics do we have? We have climbing, of course, climbing on a ledge from the ground. Player can press jump button to do that, and then jumping from ledge to ledge, and then dropping from ledge to get onto another ledge or something, right? 3 of them. And then there is something like looking back and then jumping, right? So, and then there's vaulting as well. So vaulting is just like if there's an obstacle, then you go and you press something like the jump button, and then you're gonna vault over that. So we're gonna show all these mechanics here in this little level, very small level, right? So these two things are corridors. There are little pillars underneath it. So climbing a pillar, we thought about it, and then we decided that, yeah, not a very cool idea, because we want to show like all these mechanics, like especially looking back and jumping. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna target this area. So basically in the house, we're going to use some maybe like bricks or wooden planks or cracks in the walls, just like Assassin's Creed or Uncharted for these games approach this kind of thing, right? So they use cracks, planks, or anything from the architecture to make it a ledge, right? So that's what we're going to do. So player can move anywhere right now, but let's just see on that here. We have a little path. So the player, actually, what I want to do is basically there's some distance here because there's a wind catcher here, right, on this wall. So let's represent that. Call it, yeah, it's fine. So there's a wind catcher here. So remember that we are seeing from the top, right? So there's this wall similar of this height, right? These two walls have similar height, And then this little dark gray box, it is a wind catcher. It goes like higher, of course. Now its height is greater than this one, right? So there's this gap if we go at certain height, right? If we climb up the wind catcher. Now let's go with the path. So she moves here and starts climbing here, right? So here we have our first ledge, and then a ledge on top of it, and maybe like make it like this so that it's a climbing system. So once she moves to a certain point here on this wind catcher, she moves here at this part like this. So right now she's, in terms of height, like she is above this kind of ground, this wall, right? And then she's holding the wind catcher, like climbing it, brace climbing, right? And then what happens is basically she moves there. It's with like looking back. So she's climbing there, right? So she looks back and then jump here and then climbs this wall, like the top of this wall. And then she moves and enters the top of this roof. From there, she has to get there. So this is a corridor, right? Like now, because Emirati houses are just like, this game is set in basically 90s and 80s and this kind of time. And so the Emirati houses were not like this tall. Even if they were, like, according to a story and context of the game, this house could not be like too much bigger or something like that. So it's just one story. Sorry, it's a double story. There's a first floor here, and so she can climb only like one of the floor. Now once she reaches this point, she has climbed this floor, right? Now she can simply move there, but we're gonna show players that they can also vault over obstacles. So for that, here I should put some triggers, I guess. Maybe dark red there. So a trigger here saying that you can look back and everything. A trigger here to show that jump to climb and climb to and once you're climbing, you can use the W key and then press space to climb up, and maybe from left and right you can do the same, right? So trigger here will cover this whole area just to show that. And this trigger will show will tell the players, instruct them that they can look back using the down key and then press space to do the backward jump and climb. So they can climb at this part, and then maybe a trigger here as well to tell them that you can climb on top of this wall just by pressing like the up button. So they can climb up, and they can also drop if they want to. I don't know why would they want to, but they can do that, right? So they can also drop by pressing. So main things are done there. Then what we're going to do is basically we're going to place something here, maybe yellow. We haven't used this color. This is for vaulting. So this is obstacle. Maybe I will just put it there.
I have a quick question, Ehtisham.
Yeah.
What would be like an example of an obstacle in the game that she'd have to like vault over?
So an obstacle could be at this point maybe a table just standing there, or maybe some boxes, curtains, just maybe empty or not. But the thing is that our mechanic for vaulting, it works on the square thing, but we can put a box collider and square shape on top of anything. So just like in Tomb Raider, they use many different things. For example, weapon boxes and on top of table or something like that. So we can simply use something like that here. But in home, of course, not like weapon boxes or something. It's a home, so maybe some home things like yeah, as I said, like boxes or tables or old things, something like that. Or maybe um, even an architectural design, like maybe a little wall here, just for the sort of anything. So yeah, we of course have to design that think of that while keeping in mind, while considering the context, right? We are in the house and everything. So yeah, I haven't given it a thought, but yeah. So she would vault over this obstacle, and yep. And so, yeah, here we are essentially done with all the mechanics. We have shown the free locomotion here, the climbing from ledge to ledge or from the ground to ledge here, and looking back and then climbing here, and then climbing on top of the ledge here, like not like a brick kind of ledge, but like a wall or something. After which, like while you are hanging it, you can move on top. There's some surface here, just like you can see here. So, and then vaulting over some obstacle, and then into the town sage's room. So what happens in the room is she meets a friend, and then Jin attacks is followed by that, and after that, Badriyah is instructed to go under the bed by the screen, by on-screen tutorial, and then she yeah, then some cutscenes would follow, and the story will be set up that what is the context, who is Badriyah, and what is happening here, who are jinns and everything, right? So after that, we'll go straight into the next level, which would be a castle, and or a fort. Basically, fort is a better word for that. So our fort, there we will show the first of the climbing mechanics and how to defend and how sorry, combat mechanics, how to defend and how to attack and everything like that. So I guess let's move to the greyboxing, because there's nothing like too much here, just like tutorials is one sip of everything here. So I guess I was not very good with this like whole climbing system, but I feel like I would be better able to like show it while greyboxing. So let's move to Unity without any further delay. Um, Debbie said no spoilers. I'm so sorry if I spoiled anything, but yeah. Uh, um,
It's okay. You didn't spoil much.
okay, cool. That's good. Okay. Okay. Mhm. All right, so this is the house model that Debbie made for us, and she actually like used some references from internet and everything. And this is a very beautiful Emirati style of house. Now, for greyboxing, people would rather use simple cubes and everything there. But now, since we have this house and this whole concept, because this was kind of like a story-based thing, and then the thing is that we also need to use some things of the house, right? So that's why I feel like it would be good idea to greybox here. So basically, this is our this little whitish box here represents the door to the town sage's room. This is a corridor that I was talking about, right? This and that. So yeah, this is our level. This is going to be our basic climbing level here. So we have this wall, this wind catcher here, and then this is the kind of the roof where but we would walk on. We could put some obstacle here somewhere, and then yeah, she would go right there inside and there in the room, right? So let's do something. So this is the wall basically, I'm so sorry. Yeah, there are no textures applied to a house right now, so it would be maybe difficult to see it, but I set that directional light in a way that there would be shadows and everything to make it kind of like at least some clear. So let's use this wall. Maybe as you can see here, the wind catcher is there. So maybe what we want to do is we want to put some ledge here and then one more there, and then she can climb on this little thing, and from there she can go maybe we can make some things climbable here, and she can jump from ledge to ledge. And there's also one mechanic where she can move simply like from this point to the other point, like facing that on the ledge, and then there would be a backward jump from here, and she would climb on top of this and then move right there. So for the ledge, I have this little thing here.
Ehtisham,
Yeah.
could you maybe add a light in the direction of the wall so it looks clearer on the screen?
Do I add what? Sorry.
A light in the
Light.
direction of the.
Yep, we can add another light, I guess. Okay, let's just maybe rotate it a bit so that it is. Wow. All right, I guess it is good enough. Is that Debbie? How do you feel like?
Yeah, this is much clearer.
Okay, cool. So let's put some let's here maybe. Yeah. So actually, Debbie also did a very good job with like scaling everything. So everything is cutting to like Badriyah, and her height is also like of this model, like dummy model. We're gonna make Badriyah's height to according to that as well. So we're gonna go into the game screen as well to see how it looks like. Now the thing about climbing system is basically this brick here. There's no script on this game object. There's a box collider. We can turn the mesh render off as well, and the player would still climb on it. But just for reference, so that would be maybe beneficial if we're gonna put some crack in the wall through texturing, and then making the player able to like climb it. But for now, let's use it. So it has this layer like climb, right? So it means that it is this kind of ledge. The script would raycast and see the script attached to the player, right? So it can see that it is climbable, and then this little this wall also has a mesh collider attached to it. I can show you, right? So this will make the player understand that there's a wall behind it, so she'll do like braced climbing with legs on the wall rather than hanging, right? Because with braced climbing, it makes sense to move from ledge to the above ledge or sideways. While hanging, you can only like hang and move sideways or drop, right? It doesn't make sense to move up at all. So first, let's test it. How does it feel like, right? Okay, this is too low though, right? But she's rejecting it. She's rejecting the ledge. Her hands are not in right position. It's fine, but we can fix that with climb IK and everything. But for instance, I feel like this shows that the ledge should be up somewhere, and there's only need for like one ledge, and then we can put a box collider or something there, and this ledge there. There we can also put a crack here, or maybe like when we texture it, we can put a brick that would show like a brick is outside or something, because it's not like a very new house with the cement and paint and everything. Maybe it's like there are bricks and something. Depends on our choice of textures, right? So, but let's just put a wooden plank here for now.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Would you know the lower part of the wall, the would that be too high for her to hang on to?
Lower part of what? Sorry.
So you know the wall, the like fence thingy on the wall.
Like this part?
Yeah. So would that be too high?
Actually, let's try that. Actually, that's a good idea. Would that be too high? I feel like nah, not too high. I feel like she should be able to jump and get it, because this wall is basically smaller than the others. Yeah, of course. Yeah, she did it. Cool. Now she's trying to climb on top of it because of the script, but like we will do something about that. Because it's very difficult for her to fit in here, I think, because she has a capsule collider on her. Sorry for this mess. Yeah, if you see the player, yeah, these capsule colliders are detecting she can stand where, whatever, right? So we can maybe edit the collider itself. Maybe let's do that first. Okay, so let's get rid of it actually, and then make this our ledge. So just so she won't be able to go here, there, let's make it a bit smaller. Yep. Let's try if it's working. I guess this wall also had a mesh renderer on top of it. So we can place like this ledge on, forgot where it was though. Yep, the mesh collider is interesting. So the thing is basically, yeah, we can put like this kind of like invisible ledges on the other parts as well, like on all of this, so that we give player choice as well, so wherever they want to go. I feel like it's higher, I guess. It's not, the problem is not it's high, but the problem is that the mesh collider on the wall is acting out. Yeah, this is the third one, the fourth one, I guess. All right, let's not oh, we'll close the mesh renderer here, and let's do this for now. Yeah, it's a bit higher, I guess. No, I feel like the problem maybe might be that we scaled it a little too much. So right, so basically that was an issue. The thing is, the gaps are not too big to hold Badriyah there, so it might be a good idea to like let her climb on top of the blocks rather than doing this. And secondly, maybe let's not use a mesh collider here. Instead, let's use a box collider here. And by turning off this, we can decide like where would be the, okay. What we want to do is we want to edit the box collider. We don't want this big of a height, so maybe till this point, because it's going to detect from the legs. It's going to cast rays from the legs to see if she can place her legs there or not, right? So we're using a box collider right now here, and then this thing, she would just jump into it right now. She won't be able to detect that at all. So now the box collider is there, so that's why she's doing this. But what we can do is that we can increase it to this length, and then move this little ledge here, maybe not too low. There, it's fine there. And then get another ledge, and put here. And then turn off the renderer and see what happens. So there is something, okay, so basically she's hanging to it, but like if you see through this camera, so there's the problem with her hands, but I guess we can fix that. So there, maybe she can climb or like there, and then from there to the right, because we don't want her to stand here. That's the thing, right? Because the thing is that if she stands here, the player won't be able to move somewhere, and the scripts are gonna, yeah, they're gonna mess with each other. One script that is trying to keep her away from the walls, because if you can see here, so once she runs into some wall with a collider, she stops. Right now I'm holding a D key. Right now I'm holding a W key, but she ain't moving, right? So this script is working, and you can see that there's quite a lot of distance, because we don't want her to go inside the wall and then stop, because that would probably look like a bug. So that's the thing. Maybe move it a little bit inside so that she goes inside there. Sorry, her hands would be on top. Would feel like they're on top of the block. She did not detect that. Maybe that's because of a box collider, right? Box collider of the wall. Where is your box collider? We have to add it. Yeah. And just here. Let's try that again now. Okay. Not that lower, but a little bit here. It's very difficult to like see if things are straight in 3D. That's why we use like transform values and then these kind of things. Let's see right now what she does. And trying to go on top of that. What would be the reason? All right, the box slider is there. And we do it like that, and she climbs. She's not detecting that block just because this block here, because the thing is that, yeah. All right, we lost our thing there. It would be here, right? So whatever you fit, this would be in the end. This is one thing that's good because once I turn the mesh renderer off, that's very difficult. Anyway, let's for now do it here. We will do something with the modeling and everything to see if we can make them a little bit bigger, and then we will we can also do something with like making this block rather than having the whole wall here. We can have these blocks like separately so that we can put like box colliders there separately, right? So for instance, so for now, let's put them there and then just copy it again and put them. This is the problem with like doing greyboxing after a certain thing is modeled, because then you'll have to go in and redo everything. But I feel like this is gonna be good. Let's try. I feel like that's too much high for now. Okay, we'll put it. Oh, I will lower. There maybe. Anything can act like a small ledge, a brick, a crack, or anything like that. But okay, that's an issue, right? So it's kind of like her script is not strong enough so that she can move with real. But like that, this also doesn't make sense in the real world, right? Like the player would go over to the other part. So maybe what we can do is we can pull the wind catcher a little bit to the backside, and then okay, let's see one other thing. Does it have a box collider? All right, it does. And the box collider is, oh, cool. It's taking its space, right? So the thing about the box collider rather than a mesh collider is that if the place, like as you can see, it is using this as a reference to create whole box without the biggest part, like the biggest part that's outward, right? So the box collider is using all this space. That's why Badriyah's script is not being able to detect something that is inside the box collider, so she can only move up there. So maybe let's not use this. Let's delete it, remove it. Maybe ask for mesh collider, right? What this does is essentially this. It draws on like basically the mesh. The problem sometimes is that if you do this on the ground, in certain hole or something, the player can get stuck if you feel like it's falling or something. Here we're not gonna have to deal with this problem. Maybe let's try that. Maybe it was not because of going inward. Maybe we can, but I kind of wrote the script, so yeah, she's gonna do that. I knew it. Oh wow. You guys are climb IK though, right? It's cool, no? Anyway, but the positioning is perfect, but I didn't like this part. Let's drop here. So she can stand up here and, oh wow. She, rather than jumping there, when I press jump, she climbs up here and then she can do something like this. So maybe let's do that. Let's scale it a little bit. So one thing Debbie did do was like yeah, she did the walls and everything in a single file, but like pillars, as you can see, and the wind catcher, and even their single these rods or cylinders. It's called cylinder here, so let's call them that. So they are separate objects, right? So maybe we can scale it out so that, but we can stand there like this. This is too much. Just yeah, I feel like that's, maybe let's not scale it out. I don't know. Maybe let's put this here somewhere and then copy it, paste it.
Maybe you can just move the wind catcher back. Because from the player point of view, I don't think they'll be able to see, like,
Yeah, they won't be able to see the ledge, right?
yeah, to see the wind, like
Like
how
that.
far out
Yeah.
the wind catcher is.
All right, let's move it back. That's a good idea. But all right. I think that would be enough because they will be able to see like what they can do next, because these ledges are literally guiding them to move from one place to another. About these wooden blocks, just I'm using them just for reference. But the thing is, I'm gonna turn them off like this, and they're gonna be something else for reference. Right now, I don't have anything like a crack or anything, so I'm gonna turn them on. And what I'm gonna do is that let's make this ledge a little slow, because the player will be taking a turn here, going on that part, right? So let's copy it again and move it like that, and then rotate it. -90 would be fine. Now move over there and there. So kind of like this. Okay. And I feel like this is not enough length, so maybe a little bit, maybe one more, and then we can put on this part or area we can put a glider. Let's now use the ledge. This also has a mesh glider, I'm sorry. So as you can see it, so basically a collider means that a player cannot go beyond that part, right? So that's why I have to like do this again here, like a little bit outside, just like that. But we can place some separate objects here, and we can play around with mesh renderer itself as well a little bit. We can edit it to fix our level, but for right now, let's focus on this, right? So I feel like it's a little bit higher, but let's try if it detects it. I feel like there are certain values that can be changed to make her able to do that. But all right, let's try it. Wow, she did not detect this ledge, right? That's cool. Let's find out. All right. This is gonna be a problem if she doesn't detect this ledge, because this is small. Yeah, I put some values there that if a ledge is smaller than certain parts so that her hands are not gonna be able to fit or look weird, then don't detect that. So maybe that's the reason. Maybe I should do this instead. Then there's another problem. There's going to be another problem, that is that they're not gonna be able to detect this one as well, and not this one, if that's the right thing I'm thinking about. Um, but yeah, I feel like that's it. But we'll fix some values. But for now, let's do this. Let's do this. Cool. Right. Wow. All right, now the issue is that there is no wall to brace for now, or is it's too outside, so the values mean that, yep, the issue is this. So um, let's make room for her. Will also cover this diagonal, you know, jumping to another ledge. Let's fix that. And for this, I guess should be able to, yeah, that's the issue. There are two ledges. They are also like not doing well with one another. There's a little gap, but that's okay, I guess. No, that's not okay. Okay, let's try it now. Fingers crossed. See what happens here. Wow. Oh, oops. That was not too good. That did not look good. But all right. As you can see, that's also one other problem, that she will not be able to climb on this small, like this, as you can see my cursor, this part, right? She's only gonna climb on this thing. Anyway, we'll fix that, but right now I'm just too excited to try this back jump. Oops, no, she didn't do it. She didn't do it because of this thingy. The mesh collider is stupid. What we're gonna do about that is we're gonna create a box collider as well. We'll have to, but yeah, because the thing is that she's detecting, she's checking. Okay, what else we can do is maybe try making the mesh collider convex so that she detects this there part. I don't know if that's gonna work. That's just theory, but that sometimes works. Anyway, so this thing here is a little bit of a problem, and what we're gonna do about it is we're gonna make this ledge right there and move it inside, and this one like this, right? Not too, but maybe something like this, so that she will be able to, from this ledge, she will be able to go to the other one, right? Let's see if that fixes the problem. Uh, okay. This is weird. Why didn't it? Uh, it's not too high though. Maybe because of the mesh render of the wall of this wind catcher. Let's see. Mm, Basically, this is also a problem. This is very too small of a space to like move from there to there, because there's certain angle. I think a 60-degree angle to which you can do this little thing. Yeah, that's also kind of like a constraint, but can
I
be fixed
just,
in the values. Yeah,
what if you add the ledge? You know the ledge on the other wall. What if you add it to the, yeah, to you know where you just jumped?
yeah,
It's
we can do that. That's easy, but I wanted to show this mechanic, but I feel like it has to do with certain values or something.
oh, okay.
Yeah, the certain values needs to be fixed in the climbing system in order to fix that. But yeah, we can certainly do this thing. Yeah, we just so we are on top at least. Oh, cool. Yep, there's a box collider here as well. I forgot about that. I was just debugging and let's turn it off for now. Maybe not. Just edit it so that we bring it. Actually, let's turn it off. So So now at least we are coming here. We'll fix some error. Sorry for that. But yeah, we'll do some modeling things there. But for now, let's add something here. Let's add a cube. Cube. Let's make it scale it a bit. All right, this is sphere length, and let's call it vault. So that when the layers of the layer of the player will collide with this layer, they will understand what to do, right? So let's try this now. Jump, some hanging issues, but we managed to get on top. We are here and we are not falling again. Why are we falling? Because we maybe turned it off during the game, or maybe what's the mesh colliders doing? No, yeah, that's the mesh collider. Okay. So, problem with the mesh collider is that we cannot add it just like we were doing with the box collider. So set a box collider and only and place it there. We want to render some mesh though. Let's try it again. It is not going up because the thing is that there's no collider on this thing. So basically, if we don't make it convex, then I feel like we will get the same feeling like that. I feel like that's gonna work. Because convex means that simply just like box colliders. Okay. Do not press the key. I have to press both of the W and now I pressed one. I'm pretty sure. Okay, finally, we're inside. Ooh, now, all right, this is the issue now. It is not detected. So let's see why not. Because of the height, yeah. Let's put the player. Oops, where's the player? Yeah, here it is. Just to test the vaulting thingy, we can. I'm not gonna rotate it because maybe we can rotate it. Actually, this one. So let's start from here, and it is not vaulting again. Okay, cool. Maybe it is too thick. Yep, here we go. It was too thick. Now that's gonna be a problem because the thing is that I will have to play with the values again because if you want a good obstacle or something like boxes as I was talking about, it's gonna be definitely gonna be more thick than this. So yeah, I'll have to fix the value so that she would do this thing over something thicker. But then I'll also have to change the animation. Right now, her animation is based on something that is this thick, yeah, really thick. So we will use some other animations such as she will put both hands on front and then vault over it like do full parkour thing, right? So we have seen that in some games. I guess it was Vector on a mobile game. Anyway, here we are inside the corridor, and yep, there we will go inside the room. The door is very big, I guess. But yeah, we will go inside the room. You saw that? You saw that? Yeah, that's the issue with the mesh render. Sometimes the holes are bigger, and so it feels like that, right? So for this ground, I'll have to add another box collider as well, which is a good technique, of course. And yeah, so we managed to cut up here even with all these errors that happened over the wind catcher. But yeah, there's some cool balcony view from Emirati style house, and yeah, we managed to get inside the house, but we'll fix that thing. So the thing is that we showed the problem with this ledge is that the way we did it right now was that we just showed like this thing, right? We did not show the backward climbing. So for that, we need to make the player till there, but for that, we'll have to add some values, and I'll have to see what needs to be fixed in the script so that she will go smoothly over to the other side and then do a backward jump. So thank you so much, guys, for bearing with me with all the devil designing and everything. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the very first level of our game. And I think that if we don't have any questions, Debbie, do we have any questions?
No, we don't have any questions right now.
All right. If we don't have any questions, then we can wrap this up. It was great streaming this first level here. It was kind of a cool journey with everything, debugging and all. Stay tuned for the next streams for Dabia. She's gonna take us through a journey of making some art for the game and storyboarding as well for the cutscenes. And yeah, that's gonna be after the next holidays. So looking forward to see you all again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.